What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I have another video requesting topic video to share with you guys today. Now, apparently one of my viewers going by the name of David602 Sanchez wanted me to give my initial thoughts on all the X-Men Days of Futures Past cover arts that they recently released for Empire magazine, and I'm just going to run through them one by one because apparently there are like 25 of them. So you're going to see them kind of like in this general in here, and I'm just going to be running through them one by one, just giving my initial thoughts. So starting off with number one, well, not really number one, just number one on my screen. We have Beast here, who, you know, he looks alright to me. Nice seeing him in some clothes. I certainly like this look better a lot more than how he looked in First Class, because this certainly looks much more connected to how he looked in X-Men 3, and I really liked that Beast design. So, so far Beast looks good. Next we have Bishop. Bishop, pretty cool. Doesn't quite look the way I would have envisioned directly coming from the comic books, but I'm certainly liking that gun. However, that gun model looks like something I've seen in like Killzone or Halo, something like that. But I'm liking the new look. I'm just curious about how much he's going to be in the film itself. So Bishop looks cool to me. Next is Blink. Can't really tell if that's a wand she has. I'm not too familiar with her, but I know she like makes portals. Yeah, I mean, this looks like something that would pop out of like Lord of the Rings or something like that. I mean, not really too futuristic to me, but you know, I guess it's a solid look. I mean, hopefully we'll get to see her have a cool little, character spot in the film when it comes out. Bryan Singer. Wow, I didn't know he's going to be in the movie. But, I don't know, I guess standing next to a dissolved White House, which I think that's the White House. I don't know. But, you know, solid cover picture for the director. Next we have Colossus. You know, I like the look of Colossus, but why is he kind of like moving forward? Why does it look like his head is bigger than it should be attached to this body? I mean, I know Colossus is a big dude, but just looking at it, it looks like there was the guy and they just sort of enlarged his head, so his head is like this. I don't know, but I can't really tell if he's grinning or if he's smiling. But like maybe he's charging. But yeah, I guess Colossus still looks pretty cool. The past Sentinel. This design was really getting a lot of crap when it was first released with the whole purple thing. I even referred to it as like a cheap version of like Michael Bay's Transformers. But after getting much more information exactly how this Sentinel works, especially with the little, I thought that it was like a vent because it overheats, but apparently that's like how it's going to hover, which is, you know, I thought was actually a pretty interesting idea, because obviously they wouldn't have jetpacks at this point in time. But you know, I still gotta see these things in action. Just give me the next trailer. Just give me like maybe 10 seconds of the Sentinel doing something. And sorry, there's the trash truck is driving by picking up our trash. Next, Ian McKellen as Magneto. Certainly like the Ghetto. Kind of missed. They just kind of ironic he doesn't have the helmet, but maybe he doesn't need the helmet because he only really needed the helmet to protect himself from Charles Xavier's powers, but I guess since they're allies, then he has no need to worry about Charles Xavier getting into his mind. So maybe that's why he doesn't have the helmet, or maybe he's just not wearing it in this shot. Maybe we'll see him wear it in the film. But yeah, it looks cool. Professor Xavier as Patrick Stewart. He now has like a hover wheelchair. I guess, you know, cool, nothing special. You know, Professor Xavier. Still hope they explain how he got back to life after being completely dissolved by Dark Phoenix. Maybe they'll have a couple of minutes to explain that one. Rogue. This was an interesting one. For those of you who don't already know, it's already been kind of affirmed that this Rogue wasn't even in this film for very long, and apparently her scenes have been cut out from the theatrical version, which we'll be releasing later this year. But hopefully it'll be on like the Blu-ray or DVD, and I'll be sure to check it out. But I think it's nice that, you know, we're at least seeing what Rogue would have looked like in the film. Not really sure about wearing all white, because, you know, if you have like a destroyed future, wearing white would be like the last color you want to wear, because it gets so dirty easily. So, you know, she's not really doing anything. I mean, it doesn't signify if she's absorbed anyone's powers. That would have been nice, like maybe seeing her pick up a car, so it like says like she absorbs someone who has super strength for a time, so she could like maybe beat up a Sentinel or something. But yeah, okay. The Future Sentinel. This one I really like because I was comparing how the past Sentinel was going to do against the future X-Men. I was just joking around saying that these things could just tear them apart, especially with someone like Magneto. But this looks like something that's made out of, I'm guessing, like giant versions of nanobots, because this thing looks like it could change forms. And so it hopefully we'll be able to see the Sentinel be able to take multiple forms, which would make it a very difficult machine or creature to take down. I mean, it looks like a machine or a creature. Maybe a mixture of both. Maybe it's some type of living metal organism. But I certainly want to see this thing in action, and I am really curious which mutant is going to bite the dust first from this bad boy. So I'm really liking the Future Sentinel. Storm. Halle Berry Storm. Okay. Her hair seems to keep changing. Don't know why, but, you know, Storm. Future Wolverine. A lot of people were a bit disappointed that we didn't get to see the yellow costume. I mean, there's a little bit of yellow and blue, but it looks like it's padded over some metal vest, so, you know, that's cool. The interesting thing I find here is that he somehow has metal on his claws. Now, if this is taking place after the Wolverine, you would know that after the Wolverine, he has his bone claws, so I don't know why he's got metal claws again. They clearly can't be made out of adamantium, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he dipped them in some type of metal and they hurt like hell, and now his bone claws are coated in some type of metal. But we know they can't be adamantium unless they found some form of adamantium. Next we have Havoc. Well, it looks like, well, I'm guessing this takes place during the 70s, so around Vietnam time, because that definitely looks like a Vietnam American soldier's uniform for the most part. Okay, I thought he was a pretty cool character in First Class, so maybe he decides to leave the school and go back into the military to do his service, and maybe he's just coming back to help out the X-Men, so, or if they're called X-Men at that point in time. Next we have Bobby as Iceman. Cool. I'm curious if we'll get to see him do the whole body transformation that he did in X-Men 3, because I thought that scene was actually pretty cool, but, you know, looks like he's definitely riding. No, he's not riding on any ice, but that would be really cool to see. We've yet to see Iceman do his signature moving around on ice. I would love to see that in this film. Hopefully we get to see like at least a few seconds of it. Next we have Kitty Pryde, or Shadowcat. You know, the interesting thing about the X-Men Days of Future's past storyline is that it's actually Kitty Pryde that actually goes back in time. So I'm a little bit upset that we're focusing on Wolverine once again, which we don't need to do, since I enjoyed First Class so much because it didn't focus on Wolverine's character. They don't need it. In fact, I find it much more interesting when we're not focusing on Wolverine. So I really would have liked to see Kitty Pryde used a little bit more, because I really like Ellen Page. I've actually liked a lot of her work as of late. I thought she was really great in Inception, and she completely blew me away in Beyond Two Souls. So I really would have liked to see her in this a lot more and actually stay true to the actual comic book storyline. So I'm definitely liking this look. Next we have Mystique, Jennifer Lawrence. It's kind of interesting how she now has the look of Mystique from the original films, as she kind of looks a lot different from in X-Men First Class. So don't know why she would just all of a sudden just have this look. I mean, it would have nice to have seen like a different version. That way we kind of see the transition from going to the way she looked in First Class to how she will eventually end up looking in the original X-Men movies. But okay, she's naked, I guess, with blue scales. Alright, cool. I mean, as long as we'll get to see her transform, which we all know we will. But, okay. Oh dear. The infamous Quicksilver. Okay, I'm just coming out to say it. Yes, I agree with everyone. This looks horrendous. And I'm definitely getting some sense of Joel Schumacher's influence here. But you know what? Just because a character looks terrible doesn't mean that they're going to be a terrible character in the film. You can't judge a character by their look, and although he looks like hell, maybe he'll have a lot of the cooler scenes. And I think that is the only thing that's going to redeem this look. It's like, they better have give him a lot of screen time. Maybe not like a lot of screen time, but make him like at least like a secondary or third area like character, and just have him do a whole bunch of cool stuff. Because if he's doing cool stuff, then I can forgive a person's look. That's all I care about. That is the only thing that's going to stop people from shitting all over this new design. Make Quicksilver cool. Next, we have Sunspot. I don't really know too much about Sunspot, but just from this image here, I guess he uses some type of fireballs and maybe solar energy or something like that. Okay, you know, nothing special. Toad. This is odd, because if this is supposed to be Toad, and I'm guessing this is somewhere during Vietnam, which would be about the 70s, then how can he look the way he does in the original X-Men? And why isn't Ray Park playing him? I mean, he clearly looks maybe 17, 18, and if we're jumping maybe 30 years to the original X-Men, he would be 40, and he clearly does not look 40 in the original X-Men film. So why did they bring back Toad? I mean, just weird. And why is he wearing these goggles? Maybe to protect that his eyes are a lot bigger. I don't know. Just not. I don't know. I'm just puzzled why we even bring Toad in this film. I don't know. Next we have Trask. Trask. Okay, mini guy in a suit. Nothing special. I know he has a really big part in the comic books, but I don't know. I'm curious if this guy's actually gonna get into a fight. Maybe he'll like download his brain into like a Sentinel's body and actually fight some of the X-Men. I don't know. I'm just curious exactly how much of a threat this guy's actually going to be to the mutants, because as a physical threat, I'm not buying it unless he has some mutant power that we don't already know. Maybe they might change that about the Trask character, but I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with this character. Next, we have Warpath. Okay, he's got two blades and he's in a battle pose, and it looks like he's going back to back with Blinks, but you know, don't know too much about Warpath, so you can't really say anything. Alright, we have now young William Stryker. Okay, well at least they're keeping this very consistent, because Stryker did talk about being in the war in X-Men 2 when he was talking to Robert Kelly, who was actually Mystique in that film. So, yeah, standard uniform suit, and he's a big mutant hater, so hopefully they get that right. Now we have young Magneto, played by Michael Fassbender. I don't know. I definitely like the helmet design, because now he's kind of sporting like a purple instead of a red, which I think is cool. But why would he be wearing armor like that? I mean, I don't know. I'm not fond of this look, but you know, like Quicksilver, you can't judge a character by his look, and I already know that Michael Fassbender as Magneto is an awesome character, so I'm not judging. I just can't wait to see what he does in the film. Next we have Professor Xavier, played by James McAvoy. Why is he standing? Why isn't he in a wheelchair? Why isn't he paralyzed? They better come up with a really good answer for that one, because if he's walking in the past, and apparently he's not paralyzed, and why is he in a wheelchair in the future? That means seeing Patrick Stewart walk would actually be something pretty interesting to see, but then that would kind of mess up the whole continuity of the original films, because he was in a wheelchair in those movies. But, you know, good cover. We now have past Wolverine, and apparently he now has the bone claws. I hate the bone claws. I mean, I know that Wolverine does have bone claws in the comic books, but I just hate how they look. I mean, I saw another YouTuber kind of talk about how this bullet-rippled Wolverine was actually kind of inspired by one of the main, arts from one of the original issues dealing with Wolverine, so they decided that they're keeping true to the original look of Wolverine, but dude, I just hate the bone claws so much. Get rid of them, damn. And that is all of them. So, those are just my initial thoughts on the Empire X-Men Days of Future Past covers. Tell me which one was your favorite and which one was your least favorite. Tell me in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe. Keep track of me in my future movie, video game reviews, and topic videos like this one. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.